Everybody would please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Chair moves approval of the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Announcements, July 26th is the Facilities Committee meeting at 7 a.m. right here. And August 14th will be our next regular school board meeting at 6 p.m. right here. Are there any members of the public that wish to come before the board and speak? No, there are not. Okay, then we move on to the reports. We'll do the financial report first. Kathy?
I was looking for the agenda.
Good evening, board members. I will have just a short report tonight. Since we're in early July, our fiscal year just closed on June 30th. And obviously we don't have students in session, so I won't have an enrollment report. So we'll dive into the financial report. I wanted to mention before I start in, this time of the year, I will be reporting the June 30th data twice before the formal audit. So we'll take a real quick snapshot now. We just got our bank statements. We haven't done audit entries yet. We'll do another look, which will be more fine-tuned in August, and then we'll have the formal report in October.
When does the audit take place?
Okay. You're worse than Dave.
Strong words.
Actually, that's a compliment. That means you're a veteran board member. Yes.
Wait, I gotta pull this out.
All right. You're one of those eager students. Financial data, our quick snapshot as of June 30th, 2023. We have collected $33,669,000,000, or 95.8% of the yellow revised budget column. Again, we haven't done any deferred revenue. We haven't booked any of our receivables from the state, and we'll be doing that over the next month and a half prior to the arrival of the audit. Expenditures, we have expended 99.3% of our, again, the yellow column revised budget, or about a little over $35.5 million. So as of right now, again, all the expenditures aren't included as well. We have chargebacks, we have our OPEB dollars to report. Throughout the month of June, we have a lot of bills that trickle in that really need to be posted back to June, like a utility bill or garbage. And so we need to get all of the invoices into the appropriate year. So these numbers will definitely change, and we'll give you another look next month. Okay, Gary. Our audit, one change we have is we have a new name for our audit company. We are still with Bergen KDB, but they were recently acquired. So when they come for the presentation, you'll see a new company named Creative Planning. And so they assured us that we have the same people, same processes, nothing's changed. They were just acquired. So, and we will have that audit the week of August 21st. We're grateful to have it early, so it sets us up well for future planning during the fiscal year. And we will also be conducting the audit remotely again this year. That seems to work well, and they always do offer to come in if we have any issues. In fact, one of our local residents is one of the folks on the audit team, so that's really nice. Again, the formal presentation will be October 2nd, and other than the audit, we're working on title applications for the school year. Otherwise, again, it's pretty much audit. So, any questions this evening?
When's the audit next year? No,
Kevin always asks that we have it the 3rd or the 4th week in August, so it'll be one of those 2 weeks. So, and Jerry, you'll probably be getting a call they do lots of interviews and standard testing, so,
Okay.
again, so if you hear creative planning, you'll have that. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
It's sound of a future student.
It's always appreciated that our finance team does this audit as early as they do. When you go to other business departments, they wrap up the year in July, so June 30th. And so the effort of trying to clean this up as far as what she's saying of being ready for the auditors, that they can turn that around in a month and a half is really admirable. But the reason why I really push for it is we get information sooner of how we did last year. So if you go further in your year and you find out information that you weren't expecting, that's makes it more challenging to recover from. And so Kathy and her team, not only have they been incredibly accurate with the finance reports, they've been incredibly timely, which is really appreciated.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Yep.
very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Superintendent's report, Kevin?
Yeah, so shorter agenda here today, but some important things on the agenda. Just want to comment on them. First of all, you took action at the June 5th meeting for the administration to prepare a review and comment, to submit that to the Commissioner of Education, which we did on June 30th. And so we will await the response from MDE, which we expect early September. And then from that, we have to publish that in the paper that we have that. We'll post that on our website. And we he has 60 days here to get back to us. So we expect that the beginning of September, and we'll be excited to have that back and take the next step. The other thing that you asked at that meeting is that we prepare ballot language and a resolution for both the general and the special election. The general election, of course, is the school board election that's coming up, and board filing is from August 1st, I believe, to August 15th. And so that's coming up here shortly. The special election is the renewal of our capital projects levy, so that's a no new tax. That capital projects levy is what funds our technology. So it's our infrastructure, it's our staff that works on it, it's our one-to-one devices, it's our curriculum, both. It'll be for print and also digital curriculum. It's also gonna help fund security technology for us, which we've seen growth since this last was approved in 2014. And so you just think from 2014 where technology has come and where we are today, we know things like cybersecurity and how we handle that has really changed, and this provides funds for those types of efforts. The other piece that's going to be on for the special election, of course, is the bond. At the June 5th meeting, we had Matthew Hammer with Ehlers, we had Paul Apikowski with Wool, and myself just doing another overview of it. But I just really want to thank the board, I want to thank people here, I want to thank people in our community. It's been over a year of input, it's been over a year of study, it's been over a year of focus groups and really trying to listen and lead and direct in a way that we can move our community forward. And I can tell you that I'm incredibly excited. I'm excited about the options for safety and security of how we can make this a safer place, knowing that it's not just your buildings, but how we work with our buildings, but this will help us. I'm excited about the maintenance projects for 50 to 70-year-old buildings. Yes, I get excited about an air handler. I get excited about a boiler, because when they're not working, that's an issue. And so yes, we're excited about that. We're also excited about the redesign of the high school. And what redesign really means is that that high school was built in the 70s and 90s when school threats looked entirely different. And so we're going to design this for safety procedures that really take effect with schools today. We're going to be designing this for classrooms that aren't rows of desks facing forward, but really trying to work with kids with solid instruction that's happening here today. We want to acknowledge that special ed has grown, and it's not where kids can fit, it's how they best can learn, and we're going to design space for that. We're going to design space for mental health needs. We're not going to just talk about it, we're going to do it. And we're going to design space that prioritizes that. And we're going to continue on with areas that expand in our hallways, whether it's a cafeteria or a fitness area. We're going to continue with it and say, yes, vocational is important, and we're going to find space for it, and we're going to add nursing and machining, which can be used multiple different ways in our community. And we're gonna talk about things like parking, because we're out of parking. We're gonna talk about a track and the tennis courts, because they need maintenance, and when we do maintenance, let's do it looking forward of how we can best help this community. And all of this, what makes me so excited after living in this community for over 25 years, is we're gonna have a high school that resembles the pride that we have in our kids, and it's gonna shine. And so I'm really excited about that. We have a direction that it's not all new. The bones are good. That's why we're the lowest tax school district in Hennepin County. It's not just the growth that some people would say. There's a lot of growth in a lot of these communities. Growth meaning there's Fortune 500 companies in some of these communities. There's times that they've all experienced growth. The reason why we have the lowest taxes is how we assess tax and our community itself of growth. The two work together. And so the reason why is things like deciding we're gonna redesign versus rebuild. And so we're gonna add some space, we're gonna renovate space, but I'm thrilled after a year, over a year, and I know some of you are, all of you are, this is a lot of work, and getting it to the point now that we can bring it to the community is exciting. Also in the board agenda, you have a couple action items on addressing some of our athletics. We have a tiered system when we add new sports, and some of these sports don't seem so new anymore because they've been in our portfolio for a long time. Nordic ski has been with us for a long time. Trap has been with us for a long time. Boys and girls lacrosse has been with us for a long time. And how we introduced those sports is they were booster funded, and we allowed them to be a sport so they could happen. We didn't have the budget at the time. But now you start looking at it after 5, 10 years, and people are wondering, why do our boosters have to pay for it and someone else doesn't? And that's the reason for the phase-in. They've proven that these sports are gonna last and that we will have those going forward. And so we're excited about bringing that into our operating budget. And that's why we are taking action on that here today, that we'll be paying for the coaches for those different programs instead of the booster programs.
And Kevin, all of those sports are both male and female, correct?
So trap is, alpine, Nordic is, lacrosse, cheer, yes.
Technically, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
The others are, I can speak to, but it's some different HR items such as Adventure Club, of some changes that are being made there. But most of those are kind of routine items. The last one is adding a facilities engineer position. That really speaks to the ages of our buildings and wanting to make sure that we do the preventative maintenance that we need to keep these facilities going. And so we feel like that's gonna put us in a stronger position, and adding that by the workflow that we're seeing.
Hopefully save money in the long run then, but.
Definitely, or get life out of our equipment.
Kevin, for the new coaches, has that in the last budget that we approved, is that all, yeah, okay, so that's all been moving forward, we already know how much that's gonna be, and okay.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, chair moves for approval of the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We move on to discussion items. Discussion item 7A. Chair moves for approval, action item 7A, approval of resolution relating to the election of school board members and calling the school district general election. Is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion? If not, we do need to do a roll call.
You do a roll call for this, so, Kelly Booth,
Aye.
Ryan Carlson.
Aye.
Warren Davis, aye. Ralph Harrison is absent this evening. Heidi Marty,
Aye.
Ryan Roth,
Aye.
Gary Wolfer.
Aye.
So that motion carries.
That motion carries. Thank
Six
you.
to 0 with one absent.
Chair moves for approval of action item 7B, approval of resolution relating to renewing the expiring capital project levy authorization of the school district. authorizing the issuance of a school building bond, calling an election thereon. Is there a second?
Second.
We'll do a roll call on this as well.
Again, Kelly Mobley,
Aye.
Brian Carlson.
Aye.
Lauren Davis is an aye. Again, Ralph Harrison is absent this evening. Heidi Marty,
Aye.
Ryan Roth,
Aye.
and Gary Woolman.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Lauren. Chair moves for approval of action item 7C, approval of the 10-year LTFM expenditure projects and statement of assurances. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Chair moves for approval of action item 7D, approval to move Adventure Club assistant site supervisors to individual contracts. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I think that's a smart idea to do that, so. Chair moves for approval of action item 7E, approval of reduction of Shirley Hills Adventure Club preschool site supervisors hours for 23-24 school year. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Chair moves for approval of action item 7F, approval to fund coaches, advisors for alpine ski, Nordic ski, trap shooting, cheer, and lacrosse. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Chair moves for approval of action item 7G, approval to update AR 4231, salary guide for hourly personnel, non-union. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Chair moves for approval of action item 7H, approval to add a facilities engineer position. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Anybody have anything else for the board? If not, the chair moves for adjournment. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the summer.